made recently concerning allegations of improper conduct on my part. These statements about me are totally false. As I have maintained from the very beginning, I am hoping for a speedy end to this horrifying experience to which I have been subjected.
Tonight, Michael Jackson's lawyer vows his client won't be a piñata for people with financial motives. Is that what happened in 1993? Mary Fischer investigated the 93 accusations for GQ magazine and joins us from Los Angeles with more. Mary, first the question, do you think he was framed in 93? And if so, the follow-up question is, why do you think that?
I definitely think that he was the target of a plan to extract money from him, and I based that on a 5-month investigation that I did for GQ that looked at the accusers, the adults that were surrounding the boy who made the accusation, and I looked at who they were as people and to look at their motivations. And what I came up with was that 3 of them had questionable backgrounds, and that also the boy had been given a powerful psychiatric drug before he ever made any allegations against Jackson. And so there was a lot of evidence that hadn't come out before that strongly suggested that Jackson was the target of extortion.
Mary, was there any evidence at all that other than the boy and his family had ever seen anything to suggest a criminal activity about Michael Jackson? I mean, if you strip away the accusations from the one family that settled civilly, anybody else back them up?
There was no other corroborating evidence, as there often is in these cases of alleged child molestation. It's easy for someone to make an accusation, but it's very hard to defend against it. And that's because often there's no other evidence. There's the say-so of a child surrounded by adults who encourage the child to make these statements for their own motivations. And there's no other evidence. That was the case in 93, and so far that seems to be the case now.
In the 93 case, did the family first go to a lawyer for civil damages for money before they went to the prosecutor?
That's exactly right. The interesting thing is, if the parents of the first boy had genuinely believed that their son had been sexually molested by Jackson, you would think the first thing they would think to do would be go to the police. But they didn't do that. They went to an attorney, and the attorney then helped them with some sort of plan to extract money from Jackson. And then they brought in a psychiatrist who, by the way, had no experience with children, and met with the boy several times. And it was only after that, and after being given the drug, that the boy then said, yes, Jackson did inappropriate things to me.
All right, in terms of the drug, do you remember what the drug was?
Yes, it's sodium amytal, and it's a powerful psychiatric drug which, when under the influence, a person is highly suggestible. And that drug was given to the boy by the father of the boy and the father's friend, who was a dental anesthesiologist. And the dental anesthesiologist gave the boy the drug in a dentist's office.
Was there ever any accusation by the boy before this drug that Michael Jackson had been inappropriate with him?
In fact, he had been asked several times if anything inappropriate happened, and he had always said no. And then again, and this is what happens in some of these cases, in these instances, that a series of adults, whether it's police, the parents, a psychiatrist, surround a child, and the child becomes influenced by these adults. And often there are false accusations that come out of this.
All right, this family, I mean, the mother and father are not married, right? There was also that element to it, that the family was falling apart.
Exactly right. In the first case, the parents were involved in a bitter custody and divorce battle. Also what happened is that Jackson had befriended the father and the boy and then got busy, moved on, and the father was disgruntled about the fact that Jackson was no longer as close to him as he had once been. That seems to be a parallel in this new case. And also in this new case, the fact that the parents did not take the boy or call the police, but they took him to a lawyer, a civil lawyer.
And the lawyers, is there any parity or similarity? Are the same, any lawyers from the 93 case hovering around this new case?
Well, the civil lawyer for the boy in the first case is also the attorney who the parents, the mother of this current boy took him to. So that's in common.
All right, and so what has happened to the family? Any quick update where he's now a young man, was a boy back then, 93. What's he up to?
You know, I haven't really kept on top of it. I understand he's living in the East Coast. I guess he's 22 years old, in college, but I don't know where. And to me, there's so many similarities with the old case and this current case that it's really important to reserve judgment before anybody comes to a conclusion about guilt or innocence here.
All right, Mary, thank you very much for joining us.
You're welcome. Thank you.